Boop. You're live. Good. I like being live. It makes me feel more lively. God, that's getting so old. Anyway, I'm Brian. Thanks for joining me. Not sure if anybody's going to join the chat, but that's fine too. If you do get notification, welcome. Today I thought I'd talk about something that I actually spoke about a while back, but not as in depth. And that is the group I have is Tool for Ghost and Spirit Communication. Well, today I'd like to talk about one of my favorite topics, E.V.Ps. Hey, Tinker, which is electronic voice phenomena or voice of the dead. Now, I can say this from my own experiences and that about E.V.Ps. So I've got lots of them, and that. But when it comes to the quality and the clarity of these recordings, and that, well, I found they come in three classes. Okay, the class C. Okay, now this can be done by a voice recorder, cell phone, video camera, any kind of electronic equipment that has audio recording. But the one I had was there's a small little voice recorder, and that. Now, Class C is basically what I consider garbage. Like, you get a recording, but there's so much static, there's so much noise that you can barely make out what the spirit person is saying. If it is a spirit person, it's really faint. You can barely. It's not even legible. It sounds like garble, basically, and it's so bad you can't even clear it up. So, in my opinion, it's a recording that can be deleted. Okay, even if you clean it up and enhance it, it's barely audible. And I have received, recordings like that, and it was discouraging too. Like, it took a while to make out what you think it's saying, but it's, when you start second guessing yourself, that means, get rid of it. Like, it's just trash. Now, Class B, on the other hand, is not so bad. Like, it's still kind of unlegible. You think you know what the spirit person is saying, but it's a kind of recording that needs to be. You need a special audio equipment, like on your PC. And like the one I had years ago was called Audacity, and that I had to enhance the E.V.P, clear it up, strengthen it, boost it, to hopefully make out what the spirit person is saying. And like, for example, let's say you get a recording that the spirit person is, let's say it's a whispery voice, or even a clear voice, doesn't really matter, and that you think it's saying, "I'm not home," okay, but you're not sure, okay. It's kind of hard to hear. So you get someone else, some other people to listen to it at the same time, and they come up with different theories. Let's say someone else says, "No, it's not saying I'm not home. It might say I got home, or I want a home." Like you get more than one interpretation to what the recording's saying. Even if you clear it up in your head, enhance it and stuff like that, it's still you're not completely sure what it's saying. And you still want to post it, okay? In this case, what you do is you post the recording with the title of what you think it's saying with a question mark. So someone else might say, "No, it's not saying this, it's saying this." That's fine. That's what I call a Class B recording, okay? And it's when you got a recording, but you're not sure what it's saying. You got more than one interpretation of what the spirit person you think is saying, okay? And it's exciting to get, but it's discouraging because you're not 100% certain, and that's why it's always good to get, even if you get someone that is a professional in E.V.Ps and working with them, you gotta get their professional opinion on what the spirit person's saying. That's great, but I would still recommend, if you want to post it, put what you think the spirit person is saying along with a question mark, because it's a class B. Okay. Now, when it comes to a class A, on the other hand, now naturally you clear it up and enhance it a tiny bit just to make it even more audible. But it can either be a person saying something or whispering something. Doesn't matter on that. But it's so clear that you think, yep, I know exactly what that spirit person is saying. Without a shadow of a doubt, you're 90 to 90, well, not even that, 95% certain you know what the spirit person is saying. That's a class A. But to do even better, and that is to send that audio recording to an audio engineer, an expert, and get them to work on it, and then get their expert opinion on what the spirit person is saying, and if they come up with the same interpretation that you have, okay, that's a class A. Okay, but to take one step further, and to ask the expert, okay, what, in your professional opinion, would you say that this is a legit E.V.P. or what? If they say, well, it is a recording of a voice, but from an unknown source. In other words, they can't say where the recording came from. Okay, so they would say it's an audio recording of an unknown source. That's from an expert. So to me, that would be the crown jewel of an E.V.P. Where a spirit person is saying something, the expert says, okay, I know what it says, you say the same, okay? And to me, that's proof, even scientific proof, that it's from spirit. Okay, or as the engineer would say, that it's a voice from an unknown source. Okay, of course the expert's not going to say it's a ghost, because the expert might not believe in ghosts, but they can say, okay, it has not been tampered with, it hasn't been altered in any way. Okay, it is truly an unknown source, so it could be an alleged E.V.P. Okay, for me that'd be ideal. And yes, I have some Class A E.V.Ps in my files somewhere, and that one was from Gasoloma, where the spirit person actually whispered my name, and I know other people in our team have heard recordings so clearly, but for me that was personal, and I thought that's pretty amazing, and I got another one from downtown Burlington, Ontario. This was years ago. I was in the village square, and I was talking to whatever spirits were around, and apparently the spirit of an older man was listening to me, and I said, well, if you say something into my recording, I'll make you famous. I'll make you popular. Your voice will be on a website. You'll become the talk of the town. I guarantee it. Well, I got a response. It wasn't a nice response, but I got a response that was from an older man's voice, and he very quickly said to me, bullshit. I kid you not, that's what he said. And I've got the recording of that. It's like a bullshit, but it's from a gruffy old man's voice, but I got it. And I thought, I gave that to a friend of mine who specializes in E.V.P. research, and he said, yep, that's what it says. He said, that is close to a Class A. And I go, beautiful. Now, another one I got was from Brock's Monument in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. And I was at the Brock's Monument, and I was talking to General Sergeant Brock and his men, talking with them. And I said, can I join the regiment so I can help you win the war? I got a whispery voice, a response. I didn't hear it for a couple of days until I analyzed, the track. But I got a request back, and it was kind of weird, but I got it. And it says, it's a whispery voice, and it says, "Why?" And I thought, what? And I thought, okay, I got it. It's very clear, why? And I thought, cool. I actually got something. And now I didn't send my E.V.Ps to the audio engineer expert, and I sent it to a guy that does research in it. And he goes, yep. He said, that's very close to a Class A. I thought, nice. And that now for people that are not they're not so much into the quality of E.V.Ps, they're just more interested in getting them. And that the one thing I had to learn at the very beginning was when it comes to doing E.V.P sessions, and that is what's known as tagging the E.V.P. Of course, at the beginning, I had no idea what they're talking about until I learned that. And all that basically is, it indicates on the voice track who the spirit person is, and that I'm there, and I'm basically indicating that it was me talking before the spirit person speaks or whatever. And basically all I said was, Brian, E.V.P session, master bedroom, private residence. So basically I tagged where I was, what I was doing, where I was in the house, and then I was at a private residence. And that. But the only trouble is when you do recordings, and that you also have to be aware of your surroundings as well. Okay? Because it's not just your voice and the spirit person's voice that will be recorded. Any noises in the house will be recorded as well. So basically, you have to make sure that the environment is controlled. Okay, so let's say that other people in the house, you're going to ask them to be as quiet as possible, as still as possible during your session. That way to avoid contamination. So let's say if there's some people in the other part of the house, okay, and they accidentally walk around for something, okay, well that's got to be debunked. Saying, okay, that noise you just heard in another room, okay, well that needs to be debunked because there could have been someone in there walking or something, or someone that might have sneezed, or any kind of little bit of noise, or even, believe it or not, a noise from a clock or a fridge, anything that can produce a noise, okay, you got to be aware of, okay, and that's got to be debunked. But if your noises are not made, hopefully, and you get a whispery voice, and you get a voice that's not your own, nice, at least you got something. But like I said, there's got to be a controlled environment. You got to tag your E.V.Ps and that. But I have been to some locations where I did E.V.P sessions for hours, and I got zilch. That was discouraging, but at least I tried. But like I said, Castelloma, at Fox Monument, at the Village Square downtown Burlington, and that, I got a couple of words. I was happy, because sometimes you go through an entire evening, you get nothing, or you spend an entire evening, you get one word that's not your own. That's all it counts. At least you got something. So anyway, people, I just wanted to do a quick stream on E.V.Ps, and basically, like I said, there's 3 types of E.V.Ps, and I know the scientific community or skeptics would kind of debunk it all, but if you can get an E.V.P that an expert says that the voice is from an unknown source, to me that's as good as it gets. So anyway, if anybody does have any E.V.Ps that they have, and regardless if it's Class A or Class B, if you have something, and that, like I said, I have a group. It's called Tools for Ghost Spirit Communication, and that you can post those recordings in that group, and that, and like I'm no expert, and that so someone that is a real expert in when it comes to E.V.Ps, and that they can post it, get some advice, get the expert to listen through it, and figure, okay, you got an E.V.P. What class is it? Class A, beautiful. Voices of the dead, or a spirit person's voice, whichever. So, anyway, people, just wanted to do a quick stream about E.V.Ps, something I've loved to do for years, and I still have them. Love you too, Tanker. You're amazing. Thanks for your support. So anyway, people, thanks so much for your time. If you like this stream, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification every time I come live. You get a notification, which is always amazing. So, hey, people, thanks so much for joining. And oh yeah, by the way, the groups I belong to on Facebook, SWYPT, and Derek Green Psychic Medium, okay, as well as White Rose, okay. I'm leaving the links to those groups in the description below, okay. Please check out those groups, amazing groups, professional groups. I'll be posting this video in those groups as well. Well, in SWYPT and White Rose, I will be posting the videos in there as well as the pages, and also my profile. And that, so I hope the next few days I'll come up with another topic. It's a topic that I know. So anyway, people, love and light to all. Thanks again. Stay safe. Okay. Bye-bye. Boom. Boom.